but I don't need it. This is What If I Was in Naruto Konoha edition. So let's just get into this. So basically, Naruto's already gonna be in school. My character's gonna be like a transfer student. He's Uzumaki, got that nice red hair, dark blue eyes. Spiky, he's got Minato's hair. He's not part of Naruto's family. He's from. Then he walks through the gate saying, I guess this will be a good day. Kakashi is the teacher, and he says, alright class, today we have a new student from a different village than ours. Naruto says, hopefully he's not like, he says, hopefully he's nice. He goes, he'll never be better than Sasuke. So does Ino say that, and Sakura both say that. He walks, he says, please come in, Christian. He goes, Christian teleports in, going, hiya, I'm Christian Uzumaki, bye. Then body flickers to an open seat. Okay, look, screw it. We're not doing this. This is annoying. Let's just go into him training in the... Let's go back to the normal one. He's training. He goes... He's back at his village training going... Then he goes... Then he jumps up in the air going, it felt so right. Throwing a kunai, hitting all the targets. Also, his village is high tech. Like but there's only one house in it. Later on that day, 5 bandits come to the house and say, oh, this is a pretty good house, huh? Boys, let's rob it. Yeah! They bust down his door, and then he instantly is right in front of them saying, good night. Then kills them all. Then he gets rid of all the bodies. aka digs them way underground to the Earth's core, where they burn up. He goes, it felt so wrong, it felt so right. He goes, I don't care. Then the next day, someone knocks on his door. He says, hi, he says, hello, I'm from the Scientific Ninja Tool, and I'm here to give you a gift. He says, for being the best in our tuning exams, this is your gift. He gives him basically the Boruto lightsaber. He goes, what is this, a ruler? He goes, no. It's our latest project in the Scientific Ninja Tool. It's like an energy blade. He presses a button, he says, you must add your own chakra to it so it'll make a blade. Christian says, cool. He does it and goes, this should be awesome. He goes, he says, how strong is it? He says, the more chakra you put in it, the longer and stronger it gets. He goes, alright. Then the next day he builds a room. A gravity room, just like Dragon Ball. Then he puts these chakra shooters out where they shoot chakra at him, like strong chakra blast at him, and he has to dodge. Basically like Vegeta's training. He goes, then he does a front flip, throwing a kunai at the button that shuts it off, and going, he's dodging most of the attacks and keeps on doing it, but then he's hit by one in the back. He goes, damn it! Then pulls out his lightsaber. I'm gonna call this the chakra blade. Jumps up in the air and cuts and blocks all the attacks. Then jumps up in the air, pressing the button on all of them. And turns off the gravity back to normal. He goes, I did it. He says, but that was only for 5 minutes. I need longer. Cranks up the gravity to 100 times. And goes do. Then gets the machine ready, but first he puts a towel around his neck and then drinks his water going. Sakura, but then he senses 3 chakras outside. Well, actually about 5 chakras outside. He looks and uses his vision, his force vision, to see through the walls and sees 5 Leaf Shinobi, aka and they're small. He says, and it's Naruto, Sakura, Ino, Kiba, and Choji, because Choji would probably want to go along with them. Actually, not Hinata. He goes, what are they doing here? They're just standing. They're like hiding. What? Not right now. No. My God, I'll be back. God. Guys, I am back, so let's get into this. So basically, he's got a towel. So when he says, I'm gonna pretend not to notice them, they'll fall for the gravity. Give me a breather. So he puts on, he's basically wearing a tank top with some rainbow colors on it, but it's mostly white. Normal shirts and some shoes. He walks out pretending not to notice him, and his hair's all wet. They go, whoa. Eno and Soccer go, ha, H-O-T. He goes, then he sits in his house. They say, let's go in that room that he was in. They walk in, and then they see, like, it's all red. They say, what the? Then they walk in and it'll fall to the ground. He goes, Then they all get booted out. They're launched, a hole opens in the roof, and then they get launched out of it. They go, ah! Then they land on the ground. They go, ugh. But then about 20 sand ninja attack them. They go, ah! Then they're all tied up. He goes, ah. Then he walks out there going, He goes, oh, sand ninja, why am I you here? They say, we're here to execute you. Lord Kazekage's orders. Please go with this normally. He says, sorry, you're about to lose your lives. Then he pulls out a kunai and throws it, cutting off all their heads. Then returns the kunai to himself and licks the blood, going, that's some nice blood. Then he says, then he goes and disposes of them, digging them underground. He says, you guys can stop spying on me now. I've known you're there since the beginning. Sakura says, what room was that? What was in that room? He says, things that I don't want to show you. Now please leave. He says, tell us. Kiba yells, tell us. He says, I'm not untying you then. He says, then he just body flickers the flying risings them to the village, and then puts it in, then flying risings back and puts a barrier around the village. So then when everyone tries to get in, they have to have access. Then he goes inside going, Then he sits down and starts to watch TV and shows Hidden Leaf Village news. He goes, then he trains even more. He's so strong. He puts on his ninja outfit, which I'll show you what his ninja outfit looks like. Let me just head to here. I'm not going to do the jutsus. So just look at his outfit. This looks identical to Thing's sister's outfit. What's his name? Tanaka's sister's outfit. Fire! Watanabe. He's wearing this. Let me get his hair ready. He has this. He has this. He basically looks like this. But then he cuts his hair, so then his hair doesn't look too tall. So then his hair looks like... Let me find the hair where his head is actually... This is his new hair. That's his hair. Actually, no, that's his hair when his hair was wet, and this is his actual hair. Let me get to it. This is his hair when it's all straightened out. I'm kidding. That's not. This is. All right, so you get ready. So then, when he heads to the village for his final time, oh yeah, they never found the scientific ninja tool. He body flickers there. Well, actually, he flying Raijin's there. And then it's his first fight is with, well, actually, his Naruto versus Neji goes pretty normal. Then it's actually Sasuke versus Christian this time. So Christian body flickers down, going. They have their clash. They go. Christian punches Sasuke. He goes. Christian kicks him into a wall. He goes. Then Christian appears in front of him, punches him into the left. Sasuke goes. Christian says, "Fire style, Uzumaki flames." He pulls out his chakra chains, and his chakra chains go spearing out at Sasuke with fire on them. He goes, "What the?" Trying to dodge him, but then he's wrapped around. He goes, falling to the ground. Sasuke pulls out a sword, going. Christian then pulls out his scientific ninja blade, his chakra blade, and goes. Then out of nowhere he pulls out. Sasuke says, "A weird circular ruler, huh?" Then then like a blade comes out and goes, breaking Sasuke's kunai. He goes. Then he spins it all around, going. Then he rushes at him, going. Then he pulls out a second one, and then he dual wields them, going. Okay, he doesn't dual wield. He goes and cuts Sasuke in the face. In his cheek. He goes. Then Christian one-shots him. He goes. And Sasuke is defeated. He goes. Christian says. Then he says, "Match over." Then the third Hokage writes down Chunin. Then he goes after that. Basically, after that, Sakura says, "No way he beats," yells out loud, "No way he beats Sasuke!" Yells, "Yeah, no way!" They yell, "He's cheating!" Christian says, "I'm not cheating, so whatever." She goes, "What were those chains then?" Christian says, "That's my Kekkei Genkai." He says, "Kekkei what?" He says, "Kekkei Genkai." It's basically what Sasuke has. That's his Sasuke's Kekkei Genkai is his Sharingan. Sakura says, "Then does that mean Kakashi Sensei has a Kekkei Genkai?" Christian says, Sakura's about to say yes, but Christian says, "No, he doesn't." He says, Sakura said, "How do they know?" Christian says, "That's a Sharingan given to someone on his Jonin day." He goes, Kakashi says in his head, "How did he know all this?" Christian says, "Kakashi, if you're wondering how I know all this, news." Then he sits down. But then, out of nowhere, a Shukaku blows down the arena. Christian says, "Damn it, a tailed beast, huh?" Then he goes, and rushes towards it. A giant air beam comes at him. Sasuke says, "At least he'll die." Sasuke actually tries to jump in which door. Christian kicks him back, and then goes, and cuts through it with just his own chakra. His hand goes, then cuts through it. Shukaku goes, "What the?" Then he blasts towards him and going, and punches Shukaku in the face. But it doesn't really do a lot. He goes, "Da, da, da, da," then kicks him in the face. He goes, "Ah!" Then 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 he goes Then Christian says, then he shoots out his chakra chains, binding him up. Shukaku says, these are weak. Then tries to pull them off. He says, they're not coming off. Christian adds fire style. He goes, Rah! Then he goes, then Christian says, fire style, fireball jutsu. It hits him but just reflects off. Christian absorbs it back and then shoots it 10 times harder from his hand. It goes, Shukaku falls out of its state. Then Naruto would finish him off with a kick, with a headbutt. Well, actually, no. Naruto would summon Galabuto with all his chakra and then starts to fight him, going, Christian doesn't even want to fight him, because he knows that he's already outspeeding in outstrength. And finally, he's done. Shukaku is defeated. Christian says, then Christian throws a flying rising kunai so far that it lands, but it somehow phases through the barrier. Then Orochimaru is about to clash with him, but then Christian appears in front with his chakra blade going cling, clashing with his Kusanagi sword. He goes, what the? Christian goes, Chikigan every single night, as he cuts through Orochimaru. Then he goes, fire style dragon flame jutsu. He goes, boom. He says, dragon flame. He says, now for the next jutsu. He recognizes, Hiruzen remembers these hand signs. Christian says, water style explosive bite of the water dragon, and claps down on him. He goes, ah. Then Orochimaru would be taken away with a sound 4. And that's it for now, because I have to go to the bathroom. So, after all this menace, a couple of days later, Christian is in the Hokage office, sitting down, talking to Hiruzen for a meeting, kind of. Hiruzen is talking to him about how they could fuse their villages. Christian says that he doesn't even have the village anymore. Hiruzen asks what happened. Christian says that since no one lives there anymore besides him, he took all the rubble and built his own mansion. And I'm pretty sure 5 years Shinobi saw it, because they were spying on me. He goes, was it Naruto? He says, it was Naruto, Sakura, Ino, Kiba Inuzuka, and Hinata Hyuga. He goes, shut up, them. He goes, Christian says, I kind of do like it. At my house, it's much peacefuler, but I am getting attacked every day. Christian says, that's why we're offering you. He says, Christian says, well, there's going to be a dome around my house, because I have a feeling tons of your shinobi are going to annoy me. He says, but I think I'm going to, he says, I'll spend a couple of weeks in the Leaf Village, and if I find it suitable for me to live here, I'll live here, but if it's not even close, I'm not staying. So then he's walking through the village with the third Hokage. Then Konohamaru ends up saying, Gramps! He goes, hi, Konohamaru. He says, Arthur, who's this? He goes, this is my grandson, Konohamaru. Person says, hiya. Hi, Konohamaru. He goes, whoa, you're that cool guy from the Chunin exams. He goes, can I have an autograph? He goes, sure. He writes it down and says, here you go, little guy. He goes, yay! Then runs away. Happily. He says, he's a nice kid. He goes, yeah, but sometimes he follows Naruto and gets into trouble. Griffin says, I could tell. He goes, what do you mean you could tell? He says, if obviously Naruto and his friends came all the way to my house, obviously they're troublemakers. They snuck into my gravity room and then they got launched out. 20 Sand Shinobi attacked my house. And yeah, that's just all what happened. I think I might have traumatized them, though. He goes, nah. Third Hokage says, they've been acting normal, though. He says, yeah, but I did kill 20 Sand Shinobi right in the front of their faces. With one kunai, which I just threw and it cut through all of them. He says, you must be a talented shinobi. He goes, I'd like to say I am. He spends an entire 3 weeks in the village and goes, this is pretty nice. But then he sees an explosion from the Hokage. An explosion from the hospital. He goes, what the hell's going on there? He appears and sees Naruto and Sasuke about to clash. Then he grabs both their hands and throws them into like the water thing. Kashi says, he got there before I did. He says, what the hell do you two think you're doing? Those attacks would kill you. He goes, shut up, you know nothing about my pain. I watch my... You haven't lost any of your family, you live a perfect life. The third Hokage is also with them, and third Hokage puts his face palm saying, oh, Sasuke, you are an idiot. Christian goes, doesn't even laugh. He goes, what's so funny, you loser? He goes, you thought you've gone through pain, Sasuke? Just as your petty little clan got slaughtered? Well, guess what? My entire village was slaughtered in front of my face. And I was alone, and I've been living alone for years on years. So what? You may have lost your clan. You have so many people who wanted to be your friends. I would love that, to just be offered friends. But nope, I don't have any. Because want to know why? They're all dead. You're just a stubborn, spoiled brat who all he wants is stupid revenge. You know nothing about pain. Then walks out. Then walks away. Sakura goes, he lost his entire village? He goes, thing goes to cool down. Well, actually, no, he says, oh yeah, and Lord Hokage, I decline your decision to help the Leaf Village. If this is how he is, then I don't want to see any other clan member being like that, so I'm not staying. Then disappears. Then he sits down in his room going, and Hiruzen, is this the first time he is really pissed? He goes, damn it, you two! Why do you two have to be like this? We could have had him. Our village could have been 10 times secure with him here. You two, of course, had to fight. Sasuke, stop with your stupid jealousy. And Naruto, how did this even happen? Then he says, Sakura, explain. She says, well, the first thing was, Naruto just yelled at Sasuke saying that he wanted to fight. And then punched him in the face, so then they fought. He says, Naruto, is this true? He says, no, old man. Basically, when I was doing this, Sakura punched me to the ground, and I was just sitting there, and I was just laying there for no exact reason. Then Sakura was cutting apples for Sasuke. Then when she fed it to him, he slapped it out of her hands and hit my head. Then he told me to fight him. Then he got angrier and activated his Sharingan and yelled, fight me now! And then he yelled, shut up and fight. Then we got up there, he was fighting like a serious maniac. He goes, I have a feeling that Sakura is lying just because she likes to cover up for the fanboy. Kakashi says, yeah, Lord Third, I do agree. And Jiraiya says, I do too. There's no way Naruto would just punch Sasuke in the face and demand a fight. Naruto isn't like that. Kakashi, Jiraiya says. She says, and who are you? Sakura yells, and who are you, old man? Some other loser? You're nowhere better than Sasuke. Jiraiya says, ah, ha, ha. I'm way better than... I'm the legendary Toad Sage. Jiraiya! Christian appears behind Jiraiya saying, you need a better entrance. He goes, whoa, whoa, whoa! Then falls. But then he lands on his feet. He goes, how did you get here? He says, I teleported. He says, Christian says, he goes, ha 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 ha, ah, you. He says, well, I'm gonna head back to the village, and I still refuse my offer. Then he heads back to the village and sleeps. Then heads back to his thing and his home and sleeps. Then here's into you two. You're under house arrest for 3 days. For 4 days. I mean, you guys are under house arrest for a week. Sasuke 2 weeks since you started this. And Sakura 1 week. And Sakura 3 days for trying to back up Sasuke for something that's not true and blamed it all on Naruto. She goes, Then she heads home. Let's go to the Haruno family house. She says, Sakura, what are you doing? She says, what happened? She goes, I'm under house arrest for 3 days. She goes, and why is that? She says, 'cause stupid Naruto. She says, what did he do? She says, he punched Sasuke in the face and demanded a fight. But then there's a knock on the door. She says, uh-oh. Then she runs to her room, and she says, oh, Lord Thirst, Kakashi. You must be Sakura's teacher. He goes, yeah, and we're here to explain what happened in the situation today. He goes, okay, would you mind telling us? He goes, yes. They come in. Sakura's dad offers them tea, and then they sit down. He says, alright, Lord Third and Kakashi, what has happened? Hiruzen explains how Sasuke was angry at Naruto for being stronger. So then when your daughter was trying to give him apples, he slapped it out of her hands and yelled at Naruto to fight him. Then, on the roof, when they started fighting, a shinobi who we were planning on putting an alliance with, since he saved the village and my life, since we wanted to bond with him, because he's actually a really nice shinobi and he's helpful. But then he canceled the treaty. He canceled it once he saw how greedy Sasuke was and how much he said that he didn't go through pain, yet his village was destroyed. She goes, oh my god, I feel so bad for that kid. He goes, I'm sure he will be happy for that. He says, so, basically, after that, I asked them who did it, who started this. Your daughter instantly said it was Naruto. She says it was Naruto that he punched Sasuke in the face, and then challenged him to a fight, and then beat him up. Then they both used their strongest jutsu to kill each other. That shinobi stepped in, blah blah blah. But she was lying. So after that, I put them all under house arrest. Naruto 1 week for getting into the fight, Sasuke 2 weeks for starting it, and Sakura 3 days for trying to tell a lie. He goes, okay, Lord Third, thank you for telling us. We'll have a talk with her. He goes, goodbye, have a good day. Then when they leave, Sakura's mom yells, Sakura, get down here! She goes, yes, Mom, what is it? I have a date with Sasuke. She says, Sasuke doesn't like you, and 2, you're grounded. She goes, why? She says, because you were under house arrest for 3 days for telling a lie about that Naruto kid just to back up your fake boyfriend. She goes, don't talk about Sasuke like that. Sakura's mom slaps her saying, get to your room. Sasuke's just sitting in his house. And Naruto, he says, and for Naruto's gift, he's just given an allowance, an extra 1,000 Rio in his allowance. And he's happy. So after that, 3 days after that, Sasuke would be offered power by the Sound 4. And then he'd try to leave, but then he gets shocked by something. He goes, ah! Then he falls to the ground. He says, what's wrong? He says, the stupid collar on my neck. Then he tries to pull off, but then he gets shocked again, going, ah! He says, what happened and why are you here? Why is that on your neck? Are you a dog? He says, I'm under house arrest. He goes, oh, why is that? He says, because I got in a fight because I challenged someone who's stronger than me. He goes, idiot. I don't know why Lord Orochimaru chose you for their legendary curse mark. Then they rip it. They're about to rip off. They rip off the collar. Then Sasuke leaves the village, talking to Sakura. Blah 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 blah. Sakura alerts the third Hokage, and then third Hokage says, "Go, everybody." Then now Tsunade is the fifth Hokage actually. The third Hokage lives a great life with his grandson. With Konohamaru. Basically, Tsunade says, send a word out to Christian Uzumaki in the in the village hidden in the whirlpools. Now! 5 shinobi send it. Then they send a crow out and he gets it going. He says, what's up, little crow? Then he puts it on his hand. It opens up and the message says, this is Lady Tsunade, the 5th Hokage. Please, we need your help. Sasuke Uchiha has abandoned the village and is heading for Orochimaru. Kirsten says, I'm not helping. He sends back a crow saying that he won't help. I don't care what Sasuke does. He's all in revenge. He sends that back and she goes, then we'll have to force him to help. Tsunade goes, damn him. So during this, the action squad would come out, and Naruto says, so is he coming or not? Kiba says, yeah, is he coming? She says, no, he's not. He refused to come. She says, damn him. Then they run. Then they head out. She says, Naruto, where's Christian? He's supposed to be here to help get Sasuke back. With tears in her eyes, she says, he's not coming because he could care less about Sasuke. She says, dang him, I hate him now. Then they go and blah blah blah. Let's go into where Naruto is fighting. Sasuke is going after Sasuke. Naruto and Rock Lee are. Let's say Naruto was actually staying with Rock Lee when Sasuke gets away. Christian appears saying Naruto's about to get stabbed, but Christian comes in and blocks it with 2 fingers, saying weak. Then breaks it. Actually, no, that wouldn't be the way to introduce him. Basically, Naruto is about to get stabbed, but then chakra chains wrap around him. He goes, Urgh! He says, what the? Christian says, oh, idiot. Throws a kunai and stabs Kimimaro, making him fall. He says, go, I'll handle him. Naruto goes, right. Then runs off, going, ha! Christian says, chocolate peanut butter cookie dough. Scoop, there it is. Scoop, there it is. Soup, there it is. Shaka laka, shaka laka, chaka laka, chaka laka. Sprinkles! Then he rushes at him. Christian says, time for my new technique with my second Kekkei. Dark orbs appeal on his elbows. Then he goes, night days! Then blasts the ground and a giant shockwave comes. A black shockwave comes and launches him back. He goes, Aah! Then hits a wall and he falls to the ground. Christian then kills him instantly. And says, I guess I'll help Naruto. And that's it for this part.